With the conclusion of Media Day, Raptors training camp is well underway, which means some difficult decisions need to be made. 5 of the 20 players need to get cut from the roster. So in today's video, we're going to break down which of those 5 players just simply needs to go. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans to Amateur Hour Sports. This is a channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors. We do Raptors news, breakdowns, analysis, mock trades, and so much more 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. This is your Friday episode. We're going through the training camp roster. So if you like what you see from today's video, you want more of myself talking about the NBA and the Raptors and videos and content just like this, make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on any of that Raptors content on the way. And we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers and you can help us get there. But let's get into our content. So 20 people on this training camp roster, some much more likely to make the team than others, but still we need to cut 5 people from this roster. So we're going to switch up the setup again a little bit today to give you more of a visual approach to which 5 of those players need to go. Let's get into that content. All right, we're switching into our computer setup for this one. So we're breaking down which 5 players the Raptors need to cut, but we got a tier list for this one that include 5 categories. This is the best way to showcase all of the players that are going to be in that training camp roster, so it's best for the viewer yourself to see everything that is going on. So looking at the tiers that we have the locks, the comfortable, the clear, the fringe, and the cut. So the cut tier, obviously those are the people, the 5 that do need to get cut from the training camp roster in my opinion. You go to the fringe category, those are the guys who are on the fringe of getting cut. They are just barely going to get onto the team. We have the clear category, those are the guys that come into training camp maybe a little bit worried about their position, but ultimately I think that they will just get over the line and make it to the team. They won't have that fringe type of, okay, oh my goodness, am I gonna get cut? The comfortable tier are the guys who don't even need to look over their shoulder. They are comfortably going to make this team. They come into training camp and they are just going to feel like there's no chance they get cut. And then you have the absolute locks. I mean, that's self-explanatory. They are locks to make the team. Locks and comfortable, kind of similar categories, but just for the sake of the tier list, we have both of those categories. So for starters, Pascal Siakam is obviously a lock for this team. He is the best player on this team. He's going to show that again this season. I think he's going to get even better this season. I'm expecting Siakam to put up about 22 points per game, about 7 rebounds, 4 assists on 47% shooting from the field, 33 from 3. I think that is very doable for Pascal Siakam. Maybe get back in an all-star team. We'll have to see what the Raptors record is. Next lock, Fred VanVleet, another lock. Now that Lowry is gone, we keep talking about Fred VanVleet being the leader of this team, so I am going to toss him up there in the lock category. He's a starting point guard, expecting him to improve, especially his playmaking now that Kyle Lowry is gone. OG Anunoby, our next lock. I mean, what else can we really say about OG Anunoby? He is getting better and better every year. Broke out offensively last year. We love OG Anunoby, the most untouchable player on this team as voted by you guys, and I also would claim the exact same. Then we move to, I'd say that's about it for the absolute locks. But let's get to the comfortable. Again, these are guys who don't have to worry about getting cut, but you know, they're not quite in this elite category like these 3 here. So first one for that list is Chris Boucher. Tossing Chris Boucher. He's going to be comfortable. He's 1 year left on his contract. Raptors maybe could consider trading him just while his value is high because his contract is expiring, but we love Chris Boucher. He's definitely in that comfortable category. I think Gary Trent, I feel like Gary Trent's in that lock category as well. There really isn't going to be any discrepancy in Gary Trent making this team. Absolutely locked into that position. Next one in the lock category, or sorry, the comfortable category, I'm going to go with Scottie Barnes, our 4th overall pick. There's no way he has any chance of getting cut because he's coming in as the guy for the future. We're really like banding around this guy for the future. He's going to come in. Hopefully he's got a positive rookie season, but he's got to be in that comfortable category. The next guy we want to throw into that comfortable category is Goran Dragic. We just traded for him. Obviously, we would rather trade him, but you can't trade him if he's playing for the 905. He's comfortable. He's coming to training camp, and he has no thought in his mind at all about possibly getting cut. Next person to fit into that category, if we have one, I think Khem Birch will fit into that. We just signed him to that contract. He is like the only true center we have. Even he is not really a true center, so he has absolutely got to be on this team. Then I think we're ready to move to the clear. So these are the guys who maybe come in thinking, okay, still got to earn my spot on this team, but ultimately won't be on the cusp of getting cut. And I think that the people who fit into that, I'm going to go with Svi Mykhailiuk. Having just signed him, he's probably coming in, maybe thinking about getting cut, but ultimately he should still be clear of any of those conversations regarding him being on the team or not. I think that for Svi Mykhailiuk, he's got to be there. And we just gave him the contract. He's the shooter the team kind of does lack. And I think having him coming off the bench is just going to offer us something a little bit different, a lot more shooting that he has, whereas other guys in the team, maybe we struggle in that category. So definitely need to have that guy there. Precious Achiuwa is the next person to go into the clear category. Precious Achiuwa, having just gotten to the Raptors through a trade, he is going to be great this season. Guys, I really think Precious Achiuwa is going to shock a lot of people, showcasing that he actually has a three-point game. In his college days, he was shooting quite a bit of threes at an efficient clip. I believe he shot above 30% in his year with the University of Memphis. Last season, for some reason, he didn't really have the green light with the Miami Heat to take on those three-point opportunities. So this is the season where I think he is going to get that back. And I think the Raptors development team is going to enable him to take on those shooting opportunities. And he is going to start to knock down a lot of those threes, be able to spread the floor. On defense, he can go out to the perimeter and play defense, and on offense, to have him play as a center and be able to spread the floor. I think this is our center for the future. The Raptors were big on this guy in the 2020 NBA entry draft. Ultimately didn't fall to us, and we took the next guy on this list, Malachi Flynn. He was in the G League last season, but I don't think there's going to be any question about him making the team this season. Maybe he's got that thought in his mind that he could get sent down, but ultimately we do need him in a bit of a backup role. He's going to be a key player off the bench. I think he's going to improve a lot. I really liked what I saw from him in Summer League, so I'm going to put him in that clear category. Other people in the clear category, just taking a look at it right now, I don't think anybody else is exactly clear from this bunch. So we're going to skip fringe. We're going to go to the 5 guys that I believe the Raptors should cut from their training camp roster. And getting cut, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You go to the G League. And the G League is something big for somebody like Delano Banton. Now, I truly believe that Delano Banton is good enough to play for this Toronto Raptors team from day one and to make the roster. But development-wise, it's a lot better for him to get sent down to the 905, where he is going to be the primary player. I think he's going to be the best player on the team. So having him as the primary player on the 905 is going to get him a lot more touches and enable him to improve his game much further than staying with the Raptors' actual team. Maybe he can do some double duty some days and get some little minutes for the NBA team, but I think it's much more worthwhile for him to play for the 905 and get a lot more minutes than ride the bench for the NBA team. And I think the same does apply to David Johnson. We still haven't seen a lot about David Johnson, but I think it also applies to him to fit into that category. The next person on the list of people who do need to get cut, I mean, it's unfortunate to have to cut anybody, but truthfully, I don't really think Justin Champagnie, or if that's how you say it, Justin Champagnie, I don't think he's quite good enough to be on this team. I liked what I saw from him in Summer League, but ultimately, I just don't think he is up to the talent that we have on this team. So, I mean, I like him. I liked what I saw from him in Summer League. He's just not quite there at the NBA level just yet. Next person that's got to go on this cut list, I think Reggie Perry. He signed an Exhibit 10 contract, which means we can either sign him on a two-way contract or put him in the G League. I think putting him in the G League makes sense. He came in very late, was the last person to make our training camp roster. So ultimately, I just don't think they really have a keen interest in bringing him up to the team. But at 21 years old, I think there's promise for this guy. 6'9", 7'1" wingspan. One to keep an eye on in the future for this team. But let's see how he does in the G League, which means we are left with only one more person out of this 5 to cut. Now, difficult decision, but I think that Ishmael Wainwright wowed me enough to earn a spot in that fringe category. I don't think that he is going to be the one that gets cut from this team. Loves playing defense. He is a very good defender. If he can get that outside shooting down, he can be a worthwhile member of our NBA team. But for now, he makes it. He makes it for me, impressed me enough from Summer League to earn his spot on the roster. Yuta Watanabe was good enough last season that I think, with the signing of Svi Mykhailiuk, Maybe that takes away Yuta's role a little bit, but Yuta Watanabe was good last season. I think he's only going to get better this season. I think he's been working on his shooting. I think he needs to work on his aggressiveness with the ball and taking it to the rim. He's got really good size. He's very elegant and has that finesse. Needs to be a little bit more careful finishing on the interior, though. He needs to finish a bit more of the chances he gets, but good enough to make the team. Freddie Gillespie, controversially, I'm going to put in fringe. Now, if you're mad, I watched him play in Summer League. Yes, I actually have his stats right here. Freddie Gillespie was absolutely horrendous in Summer League. Absolutely horrendous in Summer League. But the Raptors only have 2 centers on their team, other than him, Khem Birch, Precious Achiuwa. So we need to have injury cover if one of them is to get injured. Chris Boucher, you could throw into that category as well. But I think just for injury cover, it's good to have Freddie Gillespie for now, but I would like to replace him in the next few months. We just don't have that person yet to replace him. Therefore, just in the fringe category, being based on the Summer League, I'd like to cut him. We just don't have the cover for him at this point, which leaves Isaac Bonga or Sam Dekker to get cut. Now, in my opinion, Sam Dekker was signed to be an outside shooting guy, somebody who could help us with our three-point shooting. But then we signed Simi Hyluk. We don't really need Sam Dekker's shooting because we have Simi Hyluk to do that. We have Yuta Watanabe to do that, which means for me, Sam Dekker is the 5th player to get cut from this training camp roster. Isaac Bonga makes that fringe category just because I really like his length and I really like his playmaking, and I'm sure the Toronto Raptors team is also going to enjoy that stuff. Early on in his NBA career, still very young. I mean, not the most successful career so far, but teams have alluded to how good his playmaking is. So if we can find that extra bit of playmaking, I would like to see that. And I just want to test that one out. Sam Dekker, I don't really know how much more potential this guy has than what he's already at. I don't think he can find another level to his game. We don't really need him on our team. His defense gives me question marks. He is the 5th guy I am going to cut. So 5 guys get cut. All 5 of them a little bit for different reasons. So there it is. Let me know who you would cut from this training camp roster. Maybe we're going to add in other players like Alex Antetokounmpo to the mix as well, playing in the G League. But these are the 5 I would cut. These are the 15 that I would keep on this team for the season. That wraps up, guys. I want to hear your 5 in the comments down below because that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to give a like on this video if you did enjoy. It really goes a long way to helping the channel reach some new viewers. Also, subscribe to this channel as we are on our road to 7,000 subscribers. The circle button on the left of the screen right now is the button to subscribe to this channel. We are on a road to 7,000 subscribers. My goodness, thank you guys so much for the support. And on the right side of your screen, the other channels we have: Amateur TV for vlogs, live game reactions for stuff like TFC games, Jays games, Raptors 9 to 5 games, and actually a Raptors game on the way as well, and the Amateur Clips channel, the best highlights from our Twitch streams. Thank you so much for supporting. We'll see you again next time.